Hi, welcome to your local general gaming goods, where you can get all your gaming news and opinions straight from your local taxidermist. Today we are going to discuss gaming memories, what we're playing, Namco, and Kirby Air Ride. My name is Shelby Saxton, Shelby_GGD_podcast on Instagram.
I'm Skylar Hudson at Average Narwhal.
I'm Alecia Johnson at _Alecia_.
I'm Summer Castleman at Summer Art Blog, which is SUMMARTBLOG.
How can we help you today? Alright, we have a lot of stuff to cover today, starting with our first gaming memory. So I want to jump in and just start. Let's talk about the first memory you have playing or seeing what a video game is or what game it was you saw.
Shall I go first?
You want to start?
I'm at this side of the table, so I'll do it. Okay. Oh man, I have 3 memories, but I'll try and pick one because I can't remember which one went first. But one of my first memories of playing a video game was Mario Kart 64, because we had a Nintendo 64 for most of my childhood, and just playing that all the time with all my friends. I was like 5.
I almost was like, the Nintendo 64 was your first memory console, and then I remembered mine was too, and then I felt stupid.
And I know I played on the NES at some point, but I don't know when.
Well, the Nintendo 64 came out the year we were born.
Exactly. So shut your mouth. I'm sorry. All right.
The fun fact, this is a fact. Mario Kart 64.
Wait, is this a fact?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a fact based in opinion.
What?
Mario Kart 64.
Oh, it's an alternative fact.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Mario Kart 64 is the second best Mario Kart. Can anyone tell me the first?
Double Dash.
Bingo.
Boom.
You got it.
Nice.
Double Dash is the first best
Gold
Mario
star
Kart
for
game.
Alicia.
Can anyone tell me why?
Because it's double dash.
Because you get 2 people on one cart and you get to work together. It's
True.
teamwork. Teamwork's
That
always
was
makes it
good.
better.
Teamwork
That
means
was-
teamwork.
Exactly.
Let's
And then Mario
go to
Kart
work.
64 is the second best because
Teamwork.
of that was beautiful, Skylar.
I'm just singing Wonder Pets over here.
I-
Summer knew the words. She mouthed it. She just didn't have the courage to admit to knowing it.
I'm
Well,
sad
thanks.
I talked.
Thanks for ruining my reputation.
I'm sad I
You
talked
had
over
no
the whole song.
reputation.
Anyway, what I was going to say is, though, so that's my first memory. And I remember, as a kid, I was one of those classic kids who, if you wanted to turn the car, I wouldn't just turn it. I would hold the controller over the shoulder of whichever way I would do this.
I
would,
think that
Over
works.
the shoulder?
Yeah, I would pull back as if I
mean-
was pulling back on something.
I would
No,
do
like
the
the
lean.
reins.
You know what?
Oh, no, I
but
would
that
pull,
is
I would
just
do this.
stupid.
I think
Yes.
it worked somehow.
I think so,
It did.
too.
It did.
I was great as a 5-year-old, alright?
I mean, you did grow up in Australia where the toilets flush the other direction, so I imagine
So I guess that's-
that
gravity
did have an effect on my brain.
No, Yep. That's it.
Alright, who's next?
I'll go next. My first gaming memory, very, very vivid in my head. I don't know why. This might be my first memory as a child. I was over at my friend, shout out to the Hatches, my friend over there, and they had a Sega Genesis, and we played Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one. It was either the first one or the third one, but Sonic the Hedgehog, regardless, it was the 2D side-scroller one. That's where I fell in love and became a furry.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm not a furry. I'm not a furry. But that was the day I fell in love with Sonic. I love it.
I'm gonna edit out the part where he says he's not a furry.
Oh!
Sounds good.
I hope not. That would be really bad.
You got him.
No, but I remember that very clearly. And then I think within the next year, my dad on our old, Windows 95, tower computer, the old ones that were at your school when you were 5. It was one of those. It was really
Good.
crappy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we got the Sonic Mega Collection for it.
Nice.
Mega.
And I remember it came with Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and then Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, which, if you didn't know, this one is a
And
fact.
Knuckles.
This one's not an alternative fact. This one's an actual fact. The game was originally going to be just Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, but it was too big to fit on one cartridge. So they made Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and they were both separate games. But when you
Yeah.
put them on top of each other, because there was a little thing, I actually have it still. I have the whole collection, but if you open up the top of Sonic and Knuckles put Sonic the Hedgehog 3 on top of it, and then put it in your Genesis, you have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles.
That's
What?
so weird.
It looks super silly though, because
That
it's like
sounds too advanced.
No, I remember that actually.
yeah.
I remember that for the Gen. Yeah.
It's also how you do the Game Shark, is you put the Game Shark in and then the game on top of it.
I feel like there was like a couple different games that
Wait,
they did
what's
that with.
what's the Game Shark?
It
You
was
don't
like
know
your
what a Game
cheats.
It was actually the game Genie on the Genesis,
Yeah.
but it's
So-
you literally put in codes that you get offline or in books. Back then, it was in books because the internet was dumb.
It
Uh,
didn't really do anything.
I'm gonna be real honest. None of this is.
Yeah.
None of it. I'm getting none of this.
It's because you're too young.
Genesis. What is?
The Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I
I
get it.
still
Yeah.
don't know.
Now I
Terminator.
understand.
I
Terminator
still-
Genesis.
I still don't understand what.
I'll explain. Okay,
Okay.
so it was basically a cartridge, and in the top of the cartridge was the same hardware that was in the console.
Yeah,
where you
and
would
this is
stick
a
it in.
Game Shark.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
basically yes.
Okay.
And so you would take the game you were playing and you'd hook it into it,
Yeah.
and then you'd hook that into the console, and it would have cheat codes. And so
Okay.
you could like cheat.
Weird.
cool stuff like that.
Okay. What was the one for the DS?
That one was called the Action Replay.
Yeah, I had one of those. I straight cheated so hard on Pokemon.
And it just did the
You
same
could walk
thing.
through walls.
And I could catch like trainers Pokemon. I had unlimited Master Balls.
You
It was
monster!
I was the I would get on like the trade thing that they had, and
Oh my!
people would be
You're
like,
one
"Oh,
of those.
how did you get a Pikachu? And I'm like, ooh, I don't know. It's just my secrets. But really, I just caught someone's like trainers Pokemon. Oh yeah, that was me. Yep.
Oh, I hate you.
Yeah,
I know. I was. The
I
worst.
literally I played that
I was the
legitimately.
worst.
I
Legitimately.
legitimately played that
Yes.
and like was really good at the game and got like rare Pokemon and would
Yeah.
trade them and people would give me Pokemon that were hacked in and
know.
I remember
I'm sorry.
yeah
I
you did
apologize.
this to me.
No, but listen, I played the game first, the right way,
Mhm.
and then my brother
Ah.
got it. Like I didn't purchase this.
Of course, Christian
It's
had the
Christian's
hacks.
Yeah.
fault. To be fair,
He did this to
Everything
He's the
is
worst
Christian.
influence.
Shout out to Christian.
me. I learned it from watching him.
True, but yeah, that was me. That I was that
Okay.
person.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
did that in
glad I
Sonic
could
though.
come out to you guys and
With
tell
Sonic
you
the
that.
Hedgehog 3
Thank
when
you.
I
You've
beat
been
the
so
game.
strong.
When I beat Sonic the Hedgehog 3 the first time, I beat it and then I went back through the game and I put in the cheat that let you become Supersonic infinitely with 0 emeralds. I actually think it might have just given you all the emeralds, so you just had to be Supersonic because you have to get 50 rings. Don't worry, this is
You're
all.
just as bad.
This is all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I played through the game as Supersonic, so I am just as
Will
bad.
both of you actually leave? Because I don't want you here.
You don't want
If
cheaters.
I know, yeah, cheaters never prosper, especially not in our podcast.
You're just mad because you don't have.
Hey,
that.
hey, Summer. Hey, Summer.
Yeah.
What's the cheat to get more money in Sims 4?
Mother load. All right, good point, Skylar.
Touch a red
I've
hand.
never cheated at anything
Oh
ever.
yes.
I meant what game?
Don't ask me anything about Age of Mythology.
All right, hey Skylar, just a question.
How
Age
do
of
you get
Mythology.
infinite money in Age of Mythology?
Yeah.
Motherload.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Noise.
10 out of 10. 10
Yep.
out of 10.
And there was one called Wovwoo, and it would give you this hippopotamus
awesome.
with bat wings and a top hat. And when he
That
when he
doesn't-
like would fly
I don't
around,
see the
it left a
connection.
little trail of rainbows, and he would blow kisses at your enemies and kill them.
How is that a cheat? Like, why? Who thought of that? Who was like, you know what we need?
I'm
Wovwoo.
shrugging so hard, my
Wovwoo.
shoulders have left.
Have
the
ascended
planet.
off your body.
No, but my first gaming memory was I was probably 3, and my family was moving back to Utah from Chicago, and we had packed up like everything in the house, but we had this little tiny white TV and the Nintendo 64. And my uncles were there, and like we had a bunch of people over there that were helping that didn't live in Chicago, so they were staying with us and helping us move back. And I just remember laying on the floor playing the 007 game for the Nintendo
GoldenEye?
64. GoldenEye. That is
Yeah,
my
that was a
very
good one.
first gaming memory is GoldenEye.
That's a
And
good
I just
one.
remember being awful at it, but wanting to play the female character and wanting to
Nice.
slap everybody.
That game doesn't hold up
That's
anymore.
how I want to live.
All I wanted to do was slap people.
That's me every day.
I just need to be a
I
woman.
can relate.
Yeah.
5-year-old Skylar's, 3-year-old Skylar's dream.
Yep.
It's coming true.
Oh, good.
That game doesn't hold up anymore.
What do
It's
you
not
mean?
as good as you remember it. If you pick up a Nintendo 64 controller and play through GoldenEye,
Oh yeah, it's awful.
it'll be painful. It's too
Yeah.
hard to play.
It's really
Well,
bad.
that's why I haven't done it.
Exactly. Just keep
Good,
those
just
memories
don't do
in
it.
here because
Exactly, I'm keeping the memories intact.
it's not good anymore.
No,
like
it
it's a
is.
good game, of course, but it's like it does not hold up. You should play if you're gonna play GoldenEye. If somebody wants to go back and play GoldenEye, play it on
I'll take
the
one for the
Wii.
team.
Play it on the Wii.
I'll do it.
You wanna
Thank
play
you.
it? Ugh.
I want to do it.
You're a
Let's do
giver.
it.
Ugh.
Okay.
guys.
I'm pretty sure I have it. I'm not joking. Downloaded
Yes.
onto my Wii. I
Oh.
think I did.
We'll have
Nice.
to read
Oh,
it.
then
That
it
was
doesn't
horrible.
count. The hard part is
The controller.
The
The
controller.
Well, we have that too. So I'll.
well, you can't plug a Nintendo 64
No,
controller
no, no,
into
no.
a
I have a
into Wii.
Nintendo 64 with the game.
Oh,
Oh,
with the game.
cool.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's the only way to play it and have it not hold
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
First memory.
So one thing about me, my memory is terrible.
True.
Nice.
So the first clear memory I have of any video game
Is yesterday
Was-
when you played.
exactly when I played Majora's. Yes. No, it was Ocarina of Time actually on the Nintendo. No, maybe it was a Nintendo. That's what it was, and I loved it. And yes.
Just real quick about Alicia's memory. She's played Majora's Mask like 1,000 times.
Okay.
I've played it like once, and then I started it, and I remembered more about the beginning stuff that we needed to do than
Just
she did.
wait till we get to the end, then I'll remember stuff. Okay.
Well, yeah,
Her memory needs to be jogged.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys, so
needs it to reboot.
She was in an
Wait,
accident.
continue your story about
Just kidding.
Ocarina of Time.
That was it.
I remember playing it. I was young. That's all you need.
That's all you need to know.
so you guys have been playing. You guys have been playing Majora's Mask.
Yeah, we started it.
That's a
We're
good
trying
site.
to 100% it. So whenever
Also
we go
Wind
over to
Waker.
Alicia's
Yeah.
house, we're 100%ing Majora's Mask. Whenever we go to my house,
Wind
we're
Waker.
100%ing Wind Waker.
Good.
So it's just Zelda all the time.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
Which
So
is what I want from life.
segueing into our next little bit,
I want like a segue noise.
I do too.
Segue.
Do they make
I want.
certain sounds? Like, would they be able to recognize?
Segways?
That's
Would
a
just be like-
segue
I guess,
sounds.
yeah, no, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I want
they
to.
make like the word,
whirring,
but
yeah.
it's not really.
I
Have any of
wanna-
you guys
No.
ridden a Segway?
I've had those
I have.
U-wheel things.
I
I'm terrible at
I
them.
rode one at my senior all-night party. It was off my bucket list. I got hypnotized and rode a Segway
Nice.
and got
Wow.
stuck to a Velcro wall.
Oh my.
You'll have to tell us
Perfect.
about that another time.
Oh,
Moving on
that's
to
so
The
nice.
what
trifecta.
what you've been playing. You guys have been playing Majora's Mask
Yes.
and
Wind
Wind
Waker.
Waker HD.
Yes.
Both
Yeah.
great games.
And Majora's Mask is just as terrifying as I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's.
Are you playing it like on the 64 or on like? The
We're
Wii?
playing
Wii.
the 64 version on the Wii.
Yeah.
But so you have to use the Wii Classic controller or whatever, and then the
Mm.
buttons are just.
It's
weird.
just so weird, and that's the hardest part for me
Yeah.
right now is the controls, because so far I've been mostly playing the game, and it's so hard.
Yeah.
I was doing that part in the very beginning when you go through the swamp and you get to like the little scrub palace, and you have to fly your little Deku Scrub Link, I guess, through the platforms, and like you have to dive into the flowers and like come out and fly. And getting onto those, I got to the very
the
last.
stress.
I got to the very last one and I fell off.
It was.
I was like, "Are you
Infuriating.
kidding?" And so I had to like go back, and I don't know if I played after that. I think I might have rage quit.
No, we did because we wanted to get in there, but then it was time for us to go do something else. So then you gave me the
Oh.
controller, and I had to get us back to the save owl.
That's why.
And I had such a hard time just
Did you
leaping
get
across
there?
the lily pads. Yeah.
I remember I was really afraid. I was like, "Did we save?"
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh.
"Oh no," but no. Okay, I'm glad to hear that we did.
Oh, but we also fun fact: there's a glitch in the Nintendo 64 version,
Oh
and
my
it
gosh.
still exists in the Wii versions of the Nintendo 64
Yeah,
version.
I
You
doubt
call
it's
it
in
the Wii port.
I doubt it's
Sure.
in the 3DS version.
No,
It would probably
wouldn't
be.
because
But-
it's updated.
So the
It would
first
probably be.
No,
honestly.
it's like a glitch. Like you literally just go over. It's to leave Termina and go into
in the
Termina
first
Field
3 days.
before, like while you're still a Deku Scrub,
Yeah.
before you become human Link.
So before you've even gotten, because when you talk to the guys, like you need a sword and a shield. But when you're Deku Link, like that's not a thing. And so in the first 3 days, if you go to is it East?
Yep, East Clock Town.
East Clock Town, and you turn your back towards the guard, and you go to the. I did it on the right. It said you
And
could do
the
it either
picture-
way.
Yeah, the picture had the right wall, and she got through on
Yeah.
the right wall only.
You basically just back up into this soldier towards the wall, and you'll eventually just squeeze past him.
and then you just leave.
And what's really funny is you can go out there and collect a lot of money, which is really cool. But they have 0 enemies out
Yeah.
there right now
Oh,
because
yeah.
why would they
like they
make
haven't loaded.
enemies?
Yeah.
if
When
you're
you're
not
not
even
meant to be
supposed to
there.
be
So we
out
just
there?
got a ton of money and just
Yeah.
like hung out.
Because we had to wait until the 3rd day because the first 3-day cycle, like you have to wait and
Yeah,
then
and
go
we were-
fight Skull Kid.
And we were using the guide, and so we got like everything we needed to do done really quick.
Yeah.
And so,
That's awesome.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
so we
it
were
was
like, well,
way
we have
cool.
2 days to kill.
Yeah.
Let's sneak out.
Basically what
Edgy.
happened.
We're pretty edgy.
Good.
That's pretty cool. Me and Summer, we've been
Summer
playing.
and I.
Ooh, we're those kind of people.
Summer and we have been playing.
I think you just killed Skylar.
We
Skylar's
played
dead now.
He'll be
actually
fine.
all the way through 2 separate games over the weekend.
Well, we didn't play one of them.
That's true.
what
We watched our friend play through it and helped him play through it, but it was Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. And we could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we also played through Halo 5. We played through the story mode of Halo 5, and everybody knows how I feel about that.
You love it.
No, that's a lie. Don't
His
lie to our
favorite.
audience. I hate it. I hate it a lot, and I hated it even more the second time through. I thought maybe it could redeem itself, and it didn't. I hate it. I think the gameplay and the level design and the character design and the writing or dialogue and everything about it is really good, and then the actual story of Halo 5 is so bad and so awful and it's not fun to play. It makes me depressed.
I will say, so when Shelby first beat that game, when did it come out? Was it a year ago?
2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, when it first came out, I watched Shelby play it all the way through. If it had been couch co-op, I would have played it with him, but it was not. And at the time, I think we only had one Xbox. So I watched him play it all the way through, and I also hated it. I fell asleep, and then when I woke up when Cortana appeared, and I got really mad.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Watch out!
Okay, it's 2 years old. Sorry, we'll put a warning in the title.
No.
2 years, that's enough time.
Yeah,
You guys
Hold on,
keep
guys.
up.
Skylar,
Wow,
turn it
I
off.
didn't
Turn it
even
off.
know that.
No, but anyway, but so when Cortana shows up, I got annoyed and I went back to sleep and didn't watch the end of the game because I was like, I'm not staying awake for this crap.
Yeah.
I went back to sleep anyway. But I will admit, it was better playing it all the way through. Like, the story was better to me actually witnessing it. I still don't like it personally because I feel like it's just offensive. It takes everything that Cortana's character was and just
Butchered it.
yeah, just ignores it, and that drives me crazy because I love Cortana and I like Halo 4 a lot, and I feel like it totally just like it almost ruins Halo 4 for me, or at least what Cortana does in Halo 4.
I hope that they do something to remedy Halo 5 for me. And I know I'm not the only person who thinks Halo 5 was problematic, and I don't actually think it's as bad as I'm making it out to be. It just was really disappointing. The first, I'd say 5 or 6 missions of that game are really, really, really good. And then the rest, it just is downhill. And the game should have actually been like Halo Fireteam Osiris or something like that, because that's who you play as. I think you play as Master Chief maybe 4 times, and it's literally, you don't play as him to actually achieve anything. You play as him so that they could put Halo 5 in the title.
And I would say they literally just used him for like explanations, like an exposition. It was like when you go to, like, especially when you go on the planet Cortana is on, the only reason you play as him is so that you can understand what's happening on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
And you could
do the game without that.
you could have just revealed the story in different ways with Fireteam Osiris.
And Fireteam Osiris is actually like Buck is amazing. He's played by Nathan Fillion. What's her name?
Vale.
Vale's really good.
I would say she's this cool, super smart girl.
She's this cool, super smart girl. She's played by
Laura Bailey.
Laura Bailey.
I love her.
Yeah.
I know, and it's cool because it's motion capture, so it's Laura Bailey's face, it's Nathan Fillion's face. But what's so silly is Nathan Fillion.
Oh yeah.
It's so funny because it's exactly his face, but then he has this broad, buff body, and like Nathan, Nathan Fillion is broad, but he's definitely filled out. He's like probably in his 40s now, I think, and he's got a dad body. But in this, he's got this thin Spartan waist, but these hefty Spartan shoulders and pecs, and I'm like, that's not what you look like.
It's pretty
Captain
cool.
Hammer.
Yeah,
True.
It's pretty cool, and they do all of these really cool things to make Fireteam Osiris seem awesome. And beautiful. But then you get to Blue Team, and one, it's characters that you've never seen before, and you've been led to believe that everyone's dead, but then they're not, and it's super weird.
Yeah, then it's like, here are a million Spartans.
Yeah, and it's Spartans that fought with him and have been fighting with him, and it's like, where were you in Halos 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah, it's like, I know that, I think we've heard that all these characters are from the book universe. Like,
yeah,
you would have
they're
to
from the Fall of Reach.
Yeah, and so what's frustrating is if it would make more sense if you had read the books, and I feel like if you're going to incorporate lore from the books, it should be stuff where it's like it's more interesting if you've read the books, or at least it's more fun for you, but you can still get it if you haven't.
Yes.
But this way, it just kind of like, it just messes with all the lore of the games and like makes it nonsensical, and like it shouldn't do that. If you want to incorporate lore from the expanded universe, it should flow seamlessly into the stuff, and then when you read, you're like, oh, that's so cool, I didn't know it was from the book.
I agree
But this way, it
completely.
was like, I don't know what's even happening. All the Spartans are supposed to be dead. Who are these people that we've never heard of? And like Fireteam Osiris even makes a comment about how like, oh, they've done 6 bajillion missions together. Master Chief's team has, the blue team. They're like, yeah, they've done so many missions together. They're family. And I'm like, I've never heard of these characters. In the
Yeah,
4 previous
family.
games, yeah, I'm like, in the 4 previous games that star Master Chief, you hear no mention of these characters.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But people know how that is, so let's talk about a better game, which I like to call Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Played through the whole thing. It's incredible. It's super duper duper good. It's scary. It's fun. It is intense.
Don't spoil anything.
Yeah,
I
that's
want
it.
to play it.
Yeah,
I
I
also
will.
would like
I
to
will do
play.
my best to not spoil anything. I wish I could talk about it because there's so much to do with the game that I could talk about.
We'll just
Well,
wait,
so-
and
I
then
was
after we
saying,
play it,
yeah, I
we'll
was
talk
saying,
about
the
it.
game.
you guys
and do
have
an
an
episode.
assignment.
Play through
Yeah.
the game and then we can talk about it because
We'll do a whole.
we'll do full spoilers.
thing.
It's awesome. Part of the thing that I think would make the game, I would suggest. I've played some of the older Resident Evils. Resident Evils 1 through 4, I played a little bit of 5 and realized that it wasn't really what I wanted. And then 6, I never touched because all I heard was that it was downhill. Because what happened is Resident Evils 1 through 4 are survival horror. It's slow going. You have to you're going kind of into the same rooms and areas. You're backtracking and you're finding puzzles and stuff. And they've always been third person, which means, you've always seen your character. But then, and it's been very scary and about the fear and horror. But then you get to Resident Evil 5 and 6, and it becomes about the horror to, it's just
They're just action
games where you're fighting these big, ridiculous monsters in ridiculous ways. And it takes away from the horror, because it's literally just these ridiculous, absolutely hilarious monsters that you never want to touch.
Just more open areas
Yeah.
too. I know I played at a part of 5 or 6, and what I remember is just open areas that I could climb all over.
Yeah.
And I was at one point just shooting down hordes of zombies or whatever
Yeah.
the bad guys were. And that's it. It wasn't really scary. It was just minorly stressful because I was trying not
Yeah,
to.
it's more
get killed.
thriller action than
Yeah.
it is horror, survival horror. And there's no real basis on the survival part. It's more just horror action, which I don't like as much. There's still good games in their own right, but I don't like it. And then you get back to 7, which I was worried was going to be like that because that's the direction they were going. But 7 is completely back to Resident Evil 1. You have to, you can either go into a room and there'll be a bunch of zombies and you can either run from them or you can shoot them down and waste all your ammo. And then it's well, there's a boss that might come up later. So I have 1 bullet now, but at least all those zombies are dead. And when I come back, I don't have to deal with them.
Yeah. At least
Are you
I
dead?
just died.
Yeah.
At least there's that.
Which
A
is
worthwhile comment.
So
Worth
much
dying.
struggle for that.
Yeah, I fought hard.
to make that joke. It was worth it. I
But-
laughed.
Thank you.
What was
Awesome.
great?
Alicia laughed.
I enjoyed
Summer
it.
laughed.
I did.
We all laughed.
I'm sorry.
Give us a thumbs up if you laughed.
You're the worst.
Anyway, but what was great was it had all different brands of scary things, and also it based a lot of levels on. And me and Shelby talked about this a bunch on different horror movie tropes, and I won't say what those tropes were because I really don't want to spoil anything for you guys or the people listening. But it was just cool. It was so many different brands of horror, and they all worked really well. And I don't want to spoil anything. This isn't a spoiler. I will say the first half of the game is better than the second half. It's still a great game, but that's all I'm gonna say. Is it definitely it hits this really great peak, and then it kind of simmers down a little bit, but it's still great. And I think it was an amazing game.
There's literally a moment, and you'll see where and it's a moment where the game becomes more of an action game.
Yeah, it returns to what 5 and 6 kind of were. Yeah. But overall, it's so cool, and I definitely
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I definitely screamed out loud.
Oh
multiple
yeah.
times.
I'll tell you what. There's a moment in the game I can tell you guys about it after you play it, I'm sure you'll know. But it is absolutely bar none the scariest experience I've ever had in a video game or a horror movie.
Really?
And it was
Absolutely.
Oh,
cinematic.
I'm so excited.
I know, cinematically really impressive. Just like the music is wonderful. By wonderful, I mean terrifying,
Yeah.
and just it's just. And it's great because it's a jump scare, but it's also just some
Dread.
cool.
Yeah.
It's that game is full of dread. There was one point where I can't remember what we were up to, but there was just a while for like 20 minutes. I almost had a stomach ache because I was so
You
tense.
do the clench.
Yeah,
The
like I was just
clench.
like.
In the army, they call that the pucker factor.
This is the butt clench.
I would say it's
Yep.
to do with buttholes. Yeah.
Yep.
the butt clench.
Yeah, that was what I was feeling.
It's like when something explodes near you and you weren't ready.
I feel like, yep. I definitely.
Pucker factor.
I had Buddy on my lap at one point, and that's our dog. And he's a little dog, and I had him sitting on my lap because I was like, I'll get less scared if I'm holding a dog. And I definitely
Please
wrapped
sorry.
my arms around Buddy and like squeezed him to me,
Oh,
and then he
no.
got really annoyed and left.
I was like, if
That
you
makes
threw your
sense.
dog,
I
I'm
know.
gonna be so
I just
sad.
curled up into a ball, and he was encompassed completely by me.
But
And he was like, "That's enough." And
But
I
yeah,
left.
the game is super duper duper good, super fun. Definitely play it with friends, I would say, just because it's so. I wouldn't say play with friends because it's so scary, but play with friends because you're gonna have a better time.
And it's a movie.
Yeah, it's a
It was
movie.
like watching a movie the whole
Yeah.
time.
And it's only 6 hours. We beat it in 6 hours. I think it was 6 hours and 11 seconds, so it's really easy.
Oh,
Do it in like one
Yeah.
night. We could probably do it sometime. It's very good, very very good.
we'll
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to the news, we are gonna talk about really quick before we get on our break. We're gonna talk about some small things. Let's talk about Horizon Zero Dawn first, because Horizon Zero Dawn got a big like trailer today, and it was all gameplay, and IGN like talked about it, and it was all covered on IGN and a bunch of other places. People got to play the game. They were invited to play it, and it was really cool. We also know, and this was announced a couple weeks ago, but we want to talk about the release date. I know you guys are really excited for Breath of the Wild,
Ooh.
and
Yes.
do you guys think that Breath of the Wild, being the powerhouse Zelda game it is going to hurt sales of Horizon Zero Dawn? For those of you who don't know, Horizon Zero Dawn is a PlayStation 4 exclusive game, open world action RPG, developed by the guys who made Killzone.
I honestly don't think it's going to change anything, because for me, if you're going to get Breath of the Wild, 9 out of 10 people are getting the Switch for it. You're buying that console for it, and I don't think that the same people who are going to put the money into the Switch and Breath of the Wild are going to be like, I'm going to get that instead of Horizon Zero Dawn. I think that it's either going to be one or the other. And I don't know. I think it's weird to compare the two. I just think that they're very different in a lot of ways, and it seems... I think it's silly to compare anything to Zelda because it's Zelda, and it's just kind of like... I mean, not only is Zelda kind of its own thing,
Legendary.
the Legend of Zelda.
You're
No,
just
but-
full of those.
I know.
Tonight.
No, but not only is it like The Legend of Zelda, but it's also like one of the first, like it's an original video game. Like it's hard to compare to something that's been here since the dawn of gaming and has just developed and created so many awesome things. And I don't know, it's just weird to me that they compare them at all.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like the PlayStation market and the Nintendo market are completely different, like in different universes.
Agreed.
I feel like the PlayStation versus Xbox is like a very legitimate comparison to make,
Mhm.
but I think those are different. And then also, I mean, if they were comparable, I don't think it would hurt it, but I could see more people going maybe out for Zelda because Zelda is an existing series,
Mhm.
and it's like, yeah, like you said, it's legendary. Everyone knows about
so
Zelda.
much hype.
And there's so many diehard fans. And then Horizon Zero Dawn is a really cool new looking game, but it doesn't have the same fan following as I think Zelda does. So, I mean, if I had to say, is one going to affect the other one's sales? I think Zelda would be, get higher sales. But at the same time, I just think there's, like I said, different markets, different gamers, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
That sounds good. Another quick question as a follow-up. Who's going to get both?
Me. That's what my comment
Yeah,
was going to be
same
like,
here,
look,
same here.
I'm probably going to buy both, so I don't think it's really going to, there might be some, but I don't think it's going to be so much that it actually, like, makes
Yeah.
a difference. Like, it's going to put a dent.
Yeah, like, I don't think
It might be
Horizon
like a
Zero
little,
Dawn's
like,
going to fail.
scratch on, like, one or the other, but I will be buying both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah,
Same.
I really don't think if there's any, like, Horizon Zero Dawn didn't sell as well as we wanted. Like, what do you think it was back? That darn Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
If anything, it's
Well,
going to be
knows
the
from
console
everything.
exclusivity that'll... But then again, Breath of the Wild's console
That's the thing, they're
exclusive,
both,
so-
and that's the thing, they're both console exclusive, so they both are appealing to literally one market each,
Yeah.
and they're different markets, and so I think they're both gonna do fine. It'd be
I'm
great.
very excited, and you go.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that the hype for Breath of the Wild is a lot bigger, and so I think that it would be hard to compare the sales early on. I think you're gonna have
Yeah.
to wait a year or a little bit more even, because I think once the hype of Breath of the Wild settles down and everybody's played it and everything, I think Horizon Zero Dawn will pick up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, yeah, we played this and this was amazing, and people have already compared Breath of the Wild to Horizon Zero Dawn in ways of like how big the space is and the sandbox and everything, and so they're gonna be like, cool, if I loved Breath of the Wild this much, I should enjoy this game.
Yeah.
And so if anything, maybe it'll
It
boost
might
its
boost them,
sales.
yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's true. And after seeing gameplay today, I'm more excited than ever. It looks
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
It looks
It looks
beautiful.
way
It looks
cool.
so good. And what I plan on doing, honestly, because I'm gonna let Summer play Breath of the Wild first, I plan on playing Horizon Zero Dawn first, taking maybe a little break, and then getting to Breath of the Wild.
And then
Speaking
I
of
will
breaks,
I call BS.
play. Why?
You're not gonna sit there and play Horizon Zero Dawn while Summer is playing Breath of the Wild.
I
There's,
might.
there's
You
no
have to
way you're
watch.
gonna be able to
Oh.
contain yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I might.
You're
Yeah.
gonna want to play. You're gonna want to watch. You're gonna want to know everything.
But
Everything's gonna be.
Well,
Breath of the
he
Wild.
hates watching games. He hates watching
Yeah.
other people play games.
All I want
I'm
to
the
do the
same
whole
way.
time is
Yeah.
play it.
I'm
for
the same
you.
way. I
Yeah.
can't watch like YouTube videos of
Really?
like other people playing.
I spend hours.
Unless it's like games like Prop Hunt or like those group games that are just so fun.
That are funny.
Yeah.
Like, they have to have that
Anyways, speaking
hilarity.
of taking a break after I play Horizon Zero Dawn, we're gonna take a break. See you in a sec. Welcome back. We're going to start the second half of the podcast with something sad. Masaya Nakamura died on the 20th. It was announced today that he died. For those of you who don't know, Masaya Nakamura was the founder of Namco. For those of you who don't know what Namco is, Namco made Pac-Man.
Yeah, he's the father of
he's
Pac-Man.
that's what they call him. He was the father of
Pac-Man's
Pac-Man.
dad?
Yeah, Pac-Man's
How
dad.
Pac-Man's
sad.
dad.
To
know.
list some of the games that he was part of, you've got Galaxian, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Rally X, any Pac-Man, Galaga, Exevious, Pole Position, Mappy.
Mappy!
Shout out to my brother Kirby. He's number 16 on the Mappy world record.
No
Is he
way.
really?
No, I
Yeah,
think
he
he's
is.
19.
It might be
Explain
19
Mappy.
now.
I don't know Mappy.
Oh, I watched him play Mappy for
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah,
I
Mappy,
remember
you're
this.
a police officer mouse.
I
This
can't
is
know.
so good already.
Okay,
Is that part
we're
true?
supposed. Yes, that's 100% true. We're supposed
You
to be
didn't
being-
even know.
Kirby told me that once, but he could have been lying.
No, it's
We
100%
watched him
true.
play.
You play as
He's
this-
a blue mouse. There's nothing that screams police officer. He doesn't have a little gun on his belt.
He has
Does
a little badge.
he?
Yeah, he has a little badge and a hat that says.
Are we
He has
sure
a hat
he's not,
on?
he's just not mall security.
No, he's a mouse. He's a little mouse, and he
Whoa.
runs from cats. And you have to get all of the electronic equipment without the cats touching you, or you lose.
This is so
You know,
good.
you know how police officers
Yeah.
work.
Well, little police cats work.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to Kirby Saxton, my brother, who loves Mappy. Look him up, Kirby Saxton. He's a lot of fun.
Put that on a Twitter page.
But
Yeah.
Mappy's one of his
Look
favorite
at his
games.
little belt.
No, I see. Oh my gosh, you're
Clearly
right.
It's a
I
little
just-
mouse.
I
Yeah.
thought he was solid blue. I guess I've just
No.
never really paid attention when
Do
Kirby
you
plays
need
it.
glasses by chance?
Oh, I probably do. Yes.
See, I guarantee you,
Most
you've
of
never just actually paid attention to the game.
Yeah, like I'll just glance and I'll just
Yeah.
see a blue blob.
You'll
and I'm
see
like,
my
that's
brother
Mappy.
Kirby.
Mappy.
Ah, yeah.
Dang.
So, anyways, Masaya Nakamura, founder of Namco, died. Really sad.
Really big deal.
Really big. Yeah, really big deal. It's a big deal because Pac-Man kind of did the most for like arcade games, and it was the first time they even talk about it about him. He kind of Masaya Nakamura was the discoverer of screen addiction because he would see kids playing Pac-Man so much to an unhealthy point, and so it's
So
sad.
Is that all his fault then?
Yeah, it's all his fault.
Yeah, so what you mean is he's the devil?
It's just a bummer and sucks,
Yeah.
but it's very good. Summer, why don't you read some things about him, or I
Oh,
can.
I wasn't ready for this. Oh, I was just trying to see if there was I personally just wanted to know how he died, but he was 91, so that might have
Wow.
been it.
Yeah.
That was
Mhm.
probably it. Is
Yeah.
he was 91. Yeah, I don't have any fun facts.
Uh,
Thanks for putting me in this situation.
I'll read some fun things. He founded the company which created kiddie rides for department stores back in 1955.
Awesome.
Yeah, really cool.
Oh, real quick, he died January 22nd is when he died.
Not January 20th. I said January 20th. It's January 22nd, but he was announced today dead. Still sad. And they're having a memorial for him for the public. They did a family memorial and family funeral, which was very sweet, but they wanted to keep that private and stuff like that, but now they're doing a big one. He bought Atari when for $500,000, but which outbid Sega. Can anyone guess how much Sega bid on Atari?
$10.
100,000.
It was 80,000.
Oh,
and
that was close.
they outbid them by a lot.
Just imagine,
Yeah.
How about 80,000? No. Boom. 500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go
That
with
was-
500,000.
That was quite a jump.
I
Can we
liked
have a
it,
do-over?
so-
Wow, I'm shocked.
For those of you who don't know,
Whoa.
the
Take
name
it easy, man.
the name Pac was shortened from Paku,
Okay.
which is the sound that the character makes while he eats dots and ghosts on the screen.
Can I stop you right
Thanks,
there?
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I was saying that they tell you that fact in Scott Pilgrim. It's one of the uncomfortable things he says
What?
to Ramona.
No, what they
Yeah,
tell
when
I'll
they
leave
first
you alone
meet-
forever now. Bye.
Doesn't it mean to flap mouth?
No, what he says in Scott Pilgrim is he mentions how doesn't he mention how they wrote it was originally called Puckman, and
He
they
talks
kept
about
writing
both
He
it.
tells
facts.
he tells Knives about Puckman,
Mhm.
and then he tells
Ramona about Paku
Pac-Man.
Paku.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paku Paku.
But as
That
soon
movie's
as you
good.
started that, I just it was like in That's So Raven when it goes into her
Yeah,
eye when
same.
she has a vision. But instead I just saw.
Have you seen
Yeah.
a girl with hair like this?
Yeah,
That's Ramona Flowers.
so good.
Very good movie, but we're very sad. So
I just wanted to say, fun fact though, he was inducted into the International Video Game Hall of Fame in 2010 and was an honorary advisor at Bandai Namco until his death.
Awesome.
our
That's that part.
we want to say so sorry to the families and thank you for all that he did for the video game industry. Let's move on. We're going to talk about this week. MatPat or Game Theory uploaded what's called a deadlock on his channel. It was MatPat versus Reggie Fils-Aimé. Can anyone tell us what it was about?
Well, first of all, explain what Deadlock is.
Deadlock it's a argument or debate show where he debates video game news and things with a guest, and the guest usually debates for what they go for, and then he debates against what they want.
It's a pretty loose interpretation of the word debate because it was
Yeah.
mostly just them talking to each other. There
Yeah.
was no rebuttals, no it didn't have the
Yes.
same structure. But
It
overall,
also definitely was a big advertisement.
For the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know because they've done this before, right? And they did it. I don't know when. Do you know when, Shell? But they did
I do
it.
not
Was
know
it when the
when.
Wii U was coming out, or was it when the? I just know it was about motion control.
I'm sure it was a while ago. But this debate was about if Nintendo should stop making consoles.
Which, when Shelby first told me that, he was like, "Hey, did you see this video?" I was like, "Ludicrous! Blasphemy! How dare they suggest such vile things to Reggie?" But watching the video, it actually made a lot of sense, and you guys should definitely go check it out for yourselves. But, I mean, the way it goes is, MatPat is basically saying that he wants Nintendo forever. I mean, we all want Nintendo forever. We want Zelda. We would love a Metroid game. There's a lot of things
would.
from Nintendo that we want, and
He wants the
it would
best
be
for
so
them.
much easier, and we could get such awesome content from them if they just became a third-party developer.
We could probably get more games.
Oh, absolutely. They wouldn't have to put any time and effort into designing consoles. And at first, like I said, I didn't want it. I didn't like it. I was like, no, how could you do that? I mean, they're like the original video game console. Like, they're Nintendo. How could they stop making consoles? But the more I thought about it, I mean, can you imagine Breath of the Wild on an Xbox One and imagine a Metroid game on the PlayStation? I mean, hopefully they'll always be making their handhelds. I
Yeah.
think that's perfectly reasonable. They know how to do that, and it's awesome. But I think if they focused more on creating games for other developers,
yeah.
other consoles, I think we get awesome stuff. And I mean, MatPat made a lot of good points using statistics about stock prices and things like that and the value of Nintendo going up when they started making mobile games. And I mean, that's basically making it for another type of console. And I mean, if they release things for PC or for Xbox, I think it would really boost them, and I think it would be really awesome.
I agree. I mean, I think in the end, I think it would be really cool, and I don't feel, I don't know. I think it would be really cool. But one good point he made, and this isn't why it appeals to me for them to keep consoles, but Nintendo really has always been such a family-oriented thing, and Reggie kept making the good point about how they have all the parental controls and stuff like that, and I don't think they have anything quite to that extent on PlayStation or Xbox. Yeah, that's really Nintendo's thing, and so if they did get rid of that console, it loses some of the appeal for Nintendo products just because there's no longer parents can't stop their kids when they're playing on other things, you know what I mean? They cannot at all control do parental controls or anything like that.
Yeah, and Nintendo has that kind of reputation of being the family friendly. I remember when the Xbox One came out and stuff, and my dad was talking about maybe getting one and things like that, and he was talking to me because I was working at GameStop at the time, and I was like, really? There's no point in you getting an Xbox or a PlayStation because you just have two girls under the age of 12 that live at home, and there aren't any games that are going to come out on the Xbox for them. There aren't very many kids games, and I think there's been a lot more since then.
Yeah.
But I mean, because now that we have Disney Infinity and Skylanders and stuff like that, but
all the Lego games.
Back then, it was mostly you had war games, and almost all games were rated mature and
all they really had was Minecraft.
Yeah,
which they turned out to love. But
Knack. The game on PlayStation. Nobody's played Knack.
How dare you? How dare you?
Come on, guys.
Anyway,
I just want to say I think the biggest point to me that was so powerful about the idea of them making for other consoles is, everybody buys a console. Everybody who likes games buys one of the consoles, and when they think of what console am I going to buy as an adult or as a teenager, they think either Xbox One or PS4 because they're going to want the Halos, the Call of Duties, the Battlefields, the Titanfalls, stuff like that, Assassin's Creed. And you're only going to get maybe one of those on a Nintendo console. We got two on the Wii U. We got Assassin's Creed 3 and 4. But Unity, Syndicate, and any future ones aren't going to be on the Nintendo Switch. Or the Nintendo Wii U, at least. But imagine seeing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and how beautiful that game looks. And knowing that even though it's not going to be as bloody or as ridiculous as those violent games, it's going to be a good game, and people know that. Now, people who went out and bought an Xbox One or PS4, they're not going to be able to play it. Imagine buying a console for The Last of Us, Uncharted, Knack, and Breath of the Wild. That, a Legend of Zelda game on a PlayStation or an Xbox just sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, and just the idea of them being able to, already, the Switch, even though it hasn't even come back out yet, it still, graphically, is behind. Mm-hmm. It still is, which drives me crazy, because I want good things for Nintendo, but it's frustrating that it's still behind and it's not even out yet, and it's, you know what I mean? It's not up to date when it comes to graphics. And it's so just, the idea of Breath of the Wild being on Steam or something and having, PC
I mean, imagine being able to mod Breath of the Wild on your PC.
Yeah.
I would mod in Samus Aran into that.
I would mod in the hero's tunic.
Yeah. None of this blue stuff.
Always. No. Blue's my favorite color.
But
Zelda's my favorite thing. How dare you put the two together? How dare you?
Good. But then also, we were talking about 3 seconds ago, how, when people pick their console, they generally only get one and stuff like that. And I feel like the only people who are going to get the Switch are families and people who grew up playing Nintendo games, which is a lot of gamers, but, you have to, still be invested in Nintendo series. Everyone who plays Breath of the Wild, people who are still really into Mario, hopeful Metroid fans, stuff like that. I know.
I
but
dream at night about Metroid.
Yeah. But I don't feel I feel like the only potential for new customers for the Switch? Oh yeah, families, people with children, and they're like, okay, well this is the new family console, the kid-friendly console. But other than that, like I don't think you're gonna get new like 30-year-olds if they have not played Nintendo games that often or are not invested in them.
If you're 30 and you've never played a Nintendo game, shame on you.
I agree.
I said it.
Yeah.
Good.
If you're 30 and you call yourself a gamer and you've never picked up a Nintendo game,
I don't think anyone who calls himself a gamer at 30 is going to be like, I'm not going to get a Switch.
that's well.
I'm saying people who are like, I'm 30 years old and I've never played a Nintendo game. It's like, really though?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
you're
you
lying.
definitely. The point I'm trying to make is, I think that the Switch being all new and not being called the Wii U and everything is really smart. I think that the only reason I bought a Wii U was because I got a Wii U growing up. I had a Wii like from the time I was 10 to the time I was 16, and I got my first Xbox 360, and I wouldn't have ever even considered getting a Wii U had it not been for me growing up with a Wii and wanting Smash Brothers, and hopefully I at the time I was holding on for another Metroid game, and then knowing that the new Legend of Zelda was going to come out. I liked the look of Pikmin 3, but if I had just grown up without that, I would have immediately been like, oh yeah, gimme dat Halo though.
Well, I mean, it's so weird. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just wanted to offer a dissenting opinion.
Okay.
I think that Nintendo should still make consoles.
Mhm.
I think if they could keep up with, like you said, like the graphics
Yeah.
and all of that, I think they could stay afloat, and I really
Yeah.
think they could be super successful. And I don't like change, so I really, really love. I just love Nintendo.
It would hurt
And
if
yeah,
they stopped.
like it kind of like is like a bitter,
Yeah.
like if
It would
it
be
were to
painful.
happen, it would be bittersweet. Like
Yeah.
it would be like.
offer new
I love,
possibilities.
like,
but
I seriously was so excited for the Wii, and then I was so excited for the Wii U, and now I'm so excited for the Switch, and I've had, like, every system that they've released since the GameCube in Nintendo, basically. They weren't mine, but parents.
Mhm.
But I feel like it's, like, a nostalgia thing. Like, they can't
Mhm.
stop.
yeah,
Like, no.
they were the forerunners.
no,
Like,
no.
yeah,
Hold on. Keep them in the run, please.
Mhm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you are hard pressed to find a bigger Nintendo fanboy than me. I mean, I'm just gonna claim that right
Not
now
a competition.
because
okay.
I'm not. No, I mean, when I worked at GameStop, someone would come in and be like, "I'm interested in a Nintendo game." And my manager literally one time picked me up and put me in front of them and was like, "This is your guy." Because growing up, I didn't know what Xbox was. I didn't know what PlayStation was. There was strictly Nintendo. We called video games were the Nintendo. Like, that was synonymous with a video game.
Yes.
It was like, hey, what do you want to do? I want to play Nintendo. Like, that's just how it was. And I remember not getting an Xbox 360 until I was like 17.
Yeah.
Like, I
Same.
was...
I say I got a Wii, but I asked for an Xbox and I got a Wii instead, and
Yeah.
I ended up having great fun. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And there was at a point when the Wii had come out where in my family, we owned every single Nintendo system in existence, like at this same time. We had every handheld, every console. We're Nintendo people. That's how we were growing up. That's how it's always been.
Did
Yeah.
you have a Virtual Boy?
Yep.
Did you really?
Yep.
I don't
Liar,
know
no
about
way.
that.
I'm dead serious. It was in Jet's room.
Dang.
Incredible.
I've
What a
seen
legend.
one Virtual Boy
Yeah.
in my real life, and not a sponsor, but the World Games Store on 13th
Not a sponsor.
in Salt Lake City. It's Sugar House,
But could be.
but could be. They have
Please
a
help us.
Virtual Boy. I don't even think it works, but it's like $80, and you can purchase it.
That's not bad for a Virtual
Really?
I don't think it
Quick.
works though.
Boy. Still.
So
Yeah.
$80 for something that doesn't work. Crazy, right? So you can buy the classic NES online, the box. Just the box.
For the
100
new
and
classic.
yeah,
one?
the classic. My mom actually snagged 3 of them. She went to Target out of nowhere and she was like, "Hey, do you guys have any?" They're like, "We have 4." She was like, "I'll take 3." And so, like, my uncle,
Your
2
mom's
of my
the
uncles,
reason why people can't buy that.
yes, it's true.
Her mother's a genius.
Yeah.
So 2 of my uncles got them, and then we got them, but he actually got royally just screwed, basically. He got on eBay, and nowhere did he say it was just the box. And so he bought it $120, which is double. It's originally $60. off of eBay, and he received it, and it was just the box, and he was like, ooh, what? So he emailed him, and he was like, hey, and he, in like fine print, it was like, just the box, by the way. I believe he got it figured out, and he was able to send it back. But he has one now. My mom was able to grab one for him. But
At a regular
how
price.
insane! Double what it costs for the system for the box.
That's
like,
Not surprised.
crazy.
people are
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I would not do that.
I wouldn't either,
Uh-uh.
but I mean,
So imagine if they stopped making consoles, how high
How
all
much
their
things
stuff would
would-
sell.
Yeah.
I bet the
like
Wii
now
U would
the Wii
sell
U
more
would-
than,
Yeah.
than it would.
Yeah.
The Wii
if
would
they went
now
out of
be
business.
successful.
Yeah.
Imagine if people knew about the Wii U.
Aw, wouldn't that be
That'd be
great?
wild.
That'd be cool.
Just so everyone knows, the Wii U. With the, I'm just kidding.
Was not marketed at all.
Yeah,
Not-
seriously.
Not even close.
Moving on.
But I was gonna say, so just to wrap this up though, but like, so we watched the video of the deadlock, and just so everyone knows, their first deadlock was Zelda do motion controls, ruin gameplay, and that was on June 25th, 2016. So it was like,
A little over
6
a year.
months
Like
ago?
6 months, yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
6
like,
months.
yes,
Yeah.
that's how time goes. Anyway, but this, so after watching it, now, I didn't agree with Matt Pat's side, but I actually think he won. I thought he presented really good points
I agree.
and stronger points than Reggie's, because Reggie's were all really advertisements, and Matt Pat was like hard logic with statistics.
Yeah.
So I think Matt Pat won the debate, but I didn't want him to, and I want Nintendo to keep making consoles.
Yeah.
Go look up Game Theory on YouTube.
Yeah.
Really, really cool stuff.
Also, not a sponsor.
Also not a
But
sponsor.
could be.
We're
but
being like,
But
honest,
Matthew,
it's pretty
just
good.
kidding.
it's really, really good. Matt Pat's a genius. I've been watching him forever.
Oh, he's
but
so
yeah.
smart.
Moving on, let's talk about the next. There wasn't like a big news story this week, or a lot of big news stories besides Masai Nakamura, but there were a lot of really cool little stories, and one of the little stories I want to talk about was Kojima Studios.
Okay, real quick on this. So Shelby, right before the podcast, I saw a picture of, what did you call it? The womb?
It's called the
Oh,
womb.
man.
And that's all the context. They were
Yeah,
like, is
we're
that the
literally,
womb?
Skylar
And
and I
now
are so confused.
Alicia and I are like, what the literal
What's going on?
balls is
Okay.
about to happen?
So
We'll leave
here's here's the deal
What?
about Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima was a game director at Konami Studios. He invented Metal Gear Solid. Really,
Okay.
really cool guy. Great dude.
Real quick, how much did he have to do with the Silent Hill series? Anything?
No, he invented Silent Hills also.
Okay.
Let me look at his history of games. So he invented Metal Gear. I'm looking at it. I'm looking through these.
A lot of Metal Gear.
A lot of Metal Gear Solid in here. And then that was when he like worked with Konami and KCEG, and then he went to a Konami subsidiary where he continued to make a lot of Metal Gear stuff, Lunar Nights, Metal Gear Online, Castlevania Lords of Shadows.
Oh.
I'm just looking. There's so much Metal Gear, and then he made. I guess so. He didn't
Yeah,
work
Silent
on.
Hills.
He worked on the one.
Okay,
Silent
so that was the
Hills,
only one he was involved. Okay,
yeah,
I didn't
let's
know
do
if he
that.
made the series and then they brought
No.
him back, but okay.
But what happened in 2015? He was making Metal Gear Solid 5, and he was making a game called Silent Hills, and something internal happened, and they fired him, took him off the game Metal Gear Solid 5, which used to be Kojima's Metal Gear Solid 5. They took off Kojima's. It's now just Metal Gear Solid
he
5.
still directed the whole
He
thing. though,
directed
didn't
the
he?
entire thing, finished the game, and they did that.
And they didn't. give
It
him
got
credit?
nominated for
Nope.
a bunch of game awards, and Konami banned him from going to the game awards because
I feel like
of
there's
it.
something with the law. It's like
Yeah.
Right?
what?
Something
The game
janky.
Silent
That's
Hills
crazy.
was announced. It was directed by Kojima and Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo.
Guillermo
William.
I said William.
His name is William.
William
In
del
English, just
Toro.
call him William.
Guillermo. It's not that high.
Guillermo del Toro, and it
Wow.
starred Norman Reedus, and it was going to
Oh.
be a scary game, and the game came out for it called PT. It was basically called Playable
Norman Reedus.
Teaser.
That's
Oh,
Don't
Walking
I remember
Dead.
this.
Daryl, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Daryl.
I
So
remember this.
a game came out
Yeah.
called PT on PlayStation 4, and it was a playable teaser, and it showed off this beautiful horror experience that we're never going to be able to see because none
It's
of us have a
over.
PS4 that can download it.
Also,
because
it's just over.
it's no longer on the market.
I was like, yo, I have a PS.
I do too.
That's so sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't purchase it anymore, and PlayStation 4s sell with that game for like $500.
Holy.
Yes, and you can't if you put your name on that PS4, that game and log in as yourself, you won't be able to. You have to play as that person's account.
That's
Wow.
insane.
It's insane. The game was super popular.
Was it only
and
a downloadable?
It was
or-
downloadable only, and they announced the game Silent Hills.
How long did it go for, by the way? I mean,
How
I
long
think
did
it
you
was.
get it?
I think it was out for 6 months before they canceled Silent Hills, took him off, and then took off PT off the market. So, you
So
can't
what
purchase it
happened?
anymore.
Why?
I don't. Nobody knows.
We still don't know.
No.
I'll do some digging.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do some
For
digging.
next time.
At least I don't know. There might be some more information. I haven't looked too much into it. But the
I
point
don't
is,
want
it's
to
really,
fact check this just because it'll
It's
be
gonna
like
take
in
a-
depth.
yeah.
it'll
So
be in
next
depth and
week,
super sad.
Conspiracy
We'll-
theories and everything.
Yeah.
So-
next
we
week we'll
should-
come back with confirmed in depth information.
So he went on, and he now through that became like way more famous than he was before, and he already was famous, and he's kind of famous for creating the most ridiculous things ever, but they're amazing. Like, I don't know if you've ever played Metal Gear Solid. Has anyone here played it?
Mm-mm.
It is
Just a little bit.
ridiculous. It is insane. Like, it's a really good stealth game, but the things you do in that game and the stories.
Pause. Really good stealth game equals hide in cardboard box and crawl around.
Yeah. That's
I-
exactly what I was
yeah.
saying. I was like, insane.
But there's like
Innovative.
massive, there's like weird things about it, and the world is weird. And if you want to know like anything to the amount of how weird it is, just go look up the trailers for his latest game that he's making called Death Stranding.
Again with Norman Reedus.
Again, with starring Norman Reedus is in the game, which is good. And that's the thing. So he became super famous and then went on to create his own studio called Kojima Productions. And last week
Didn't he sue?
I can't
Ooh,
remember.
I hope
It
so.
I
would
think
be
they had-
smart.
Yeah, I think they had some.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, I would say-
we'll get more info on
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah. I
next
would say
time.
But
I'll save
he-
these questions for
He
later.
created his independent studio
I'm
called
currently
Kojima
writing all of
Productions,
this.
and they unveiled their
Studio.
last week, and a lot of people went to go see it. And we're looking at IGN's pictures, but IGN went and was invited to go look at his studios and see him and talk about the game. The next game that he's making is called Death Stranding. If you want any information, look it up online on YouTube. It is insane. The game looks really ridiculous, crazy, and I can't explain it because it's so ridiculous.
Here's what's important: is the studio is so weird because you go back behind these doors. Did you say it requires
So,
a handprint?
They explained
Jeez.
that. So you go into the room, and on the room there's like your general studio
Oh.
room, and on the side there's like trophies and stuff, and it's all trophies for a game that has yet to be released.
It's for
They're
Death
all, like-
Stranding.
yeah,
It's
it's-
like best in show, like
like,
best
it is
Like,
like.
it's already won that?
yes, like it's
Like,
already won
because
these
it won
trophies.
because of its trailers, like its trailers
Wow.
and its presentation won
What?
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the game's gonna. I'm really excited to see what it is. They say it's an action online multiplayer RPG thing.
But if you watch the trailer, you're like, this is a horror game. This is going
No,
to be-
it's like you watch the trailer and you're like, I don't know what this is.
Like,
This
Well,
is
I
so
would
weird.
guess horror. Just
We'll
go
watch
watch
it
the
later.
trailer.
I'll show you, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
should we
Go
put
look it
can we put a link on our Twitter
Yeah, we'll
of the
tweet it.
trailer?
Yeah, we'll tweet it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so this game's already thing, and then over on the wall there's like a keypad where you like type in the thing, and the wall opens, and it leads into what he likes to call the womb, and the womb is just a room where the walls and the ceiling and the walls and the floor lit up completely, a bright room, and in the middle of the room is their statue of their logo.
What?
And he calls it the womb because it's a room you go into to like think up game ideas and
That's
like
so good.
hang out, and it's like, but why?
And also that
I mean,
we'll
hey, if it works,
we'll
it works.
post
but-
pictures of what their logo looks like if you don't have an idea, because
Yeah.
their logo is just like the head of the statue, but like the statue has like a full body that is. It's just bizarre. It's just you just have to see it. You have to see it.
It's
I'll
so
tweet it.
weird.
All right.
So with that, we're gonna move on to our final topic of the day.
Wait, one real quick. This
What?
could be said in a sentence. Fallout 4 is getting
Oh,
high-res
yeah.
release
Uh,
or whatever.
News: Fallout 4 is getting a high-res update on PC and PS4 Pro. Summer, do you have anything to say about that?
I am mad because not on Xbox, which is where I play.
Too
That
bad
is it.
Xbox is not strong enough.
Yep. I would say, and I don't want to get
Sad
into the
face.
rabbit hole that is talking about Fallout because I love it. So
Yes.
we'll move
We'll talk
on
about it another time.
to our last topic, right?
Retro
Yep.
reviews.
Retro reviews.
Alecia.
Alecia.
Kirby Air Ride.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love this game so much, and I feel like it's like one of those little treasures that you know you're like, yo, psst, have you played Kirby Air Ride? And like 90% of the time, they go, what? And then you get those solid like 10% of just people that are amazing that are like, actually, yeah. And then you want to cry with them because this game is so underrated, but it's so good. And I love this game so much. And it was actually one of the few people I found was Shelby,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who also plays, and it's just everything that Kirby should be is in this game. I love it so much, and it's for the GameCube. Do they have it on anything else?
Kirby Air Ride is for the GameCube, and it originally started production as a Nintendo 64 game, and there is footage of the Nintendo 64 version, and it looks very similar, just not as good graphics.
Yeah.
And then it moved to the GameCube with the good graphics it has that I think hold up. All you'd have to do to make that game look better is update the resolution. I think it's at 480p.
Because since it's already cartoony, you're never like, this isn't realistic enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's literally just like a little fuzzy.
It's the same thing as the one that you guys are playing.
Majora's Mask?
Majora's Mask.
No, the other one. Wind Waker.
Wind
It's like Wind Waker.
Yeah,
It's like
I would compare
the
that one better.
The GameCube graphics look so beautiful still, and it's like all you'd have to do is make it widescreen and then update the resolution, and you've got this beautiful game.
Yeah, but this game has so many modes to play on, and my favorite is like the city trial, which is where you start.
Let's talk about all three modes first.
Okay,
first of all, there's Kirby Air Ride is a racing game, and usually Kirby wouldn't be a racing game, but this one is, and you race on these things called stars.
Wait, let Alecia do this.
And they have different.
Okay.
They have different. They have different like abilities and different speeds and different statistics and stuff like that. And that's the first game mode. Is it's a racing mode. You start at the beginning, you go around a map 3 times, and whoever comes out first wins the race. And then there's top down mode, which is similar to the first mode, but instead of being like a race where you're third person behind them and you're going around, it's just from top down and really like quick races. It's a stupid mode. It feels like a mini game.
Yeah.
I've played it a lot. I mean, I beat this game 100%
This
over.
is the one where it's kind of like bird's eye view, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's bird's eye view. And then the third game, talk about the third game mode.
Oh, City Trial. It's the best. So every player starts out with this like it's like the basic star. And you have to go around and collect boosts, like upgrades for your star. And I could go on forever about this. This is so great. So you put a time limit on there, and you basically upgrade your star as much as you can, and then at the end of the round, you all go to what would you call it? Another mini game, I guess.
Yeah.
And you would compete with how good your star is. So if it was a race, if you had a really, really fast star, you were going to win the race, and if you had there's destruction derbies where you try and kill each other and like break each other's stars, and if you had a really tough star, then you would win. And it was kind of fun because you didn't really know what the little mini game was going to be, except little hints would pop up, and you'd really have to look at them because it was almost like little subtitles that would just like scroll across the screen, and they're really easy to miss.
I said they act like news reports.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. They're just like really easy to miss, and so you'd have to read them, and it would be like, I don't know specifically what they would say, but it was like, hope you could
you better be fast.
You better be fast. It would basically just say that.
If you play Kirby Air Ride, you're going to spend most of your time in City Trial.
Oh,
Alecia,
yeah, this is the best one.
I can tell you what my rating would be for Kirby Air Ride. What would your rating be?
For the overall game?
Yeah, like 10.
Wait, first let's do gameplay. Rate it out of 10.
No, just do the whole thing. What out of 10 would you say?
Oh my, I love this game so much.
Because I can tell you without thinking about it.
I would give it 9 out of 10.
I'd give it 10 out of 10.
Oh, you would?
Are
okay,
I
was afraid I was overrated. 10 out of 10,
there are
sure.
4 games in existence that I consider to be perfect multiplayer
Kirby
games.
I got in there. Oh, I'm so
Super Smash Bros. Any of them.
Oh, I love Smash Bros.
Halo, Combat Evolved, the first one, playing couch co-op with everybody. Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yes.
Bringing back, and Kirby Air Ride.
Good.
So, my final question, I think it's the question that's on everybody's mind, is how much water?
There's a lot in the city. There's tons.
But
Good.
Is there too much?
No, there's perfect amount.
Perfect.
So
10 out of 10.
Your final comment would be 10 out of 10, just enough water.
Just enough water. Exactly.
Yep.
Thanks for listening to General Gaming Goods. You can find us on Twitter as @GG Gaming Podcast. That's not it.
It's just
G Gaming Podcast @G Gaming Podcast, and YouTube, SoundCloud, and Castbox as General Gaming Goods. Remember to follow, like, subscribe, and whatever else you do when you want to hear more. My name is Shelby Saxton.
I'm Skylar Hudson.
I'm Alecia Johnson.
And I'm Summer Castleman.
Thanks for listening. GG.
I didn't say it.